So Merry Christmas, everybody. Already I'm getting questions from the people I know, and I work at a CVS, so I'm getting questions from people I don't know, asking if I'm ready for Christmas. Well, what does that mean? Buying packages for people that I care about and rushing around and rushing here and there to find the best deals, and cooking and cleaning and baking for visits from family and friends, decorating the house, singing Christmas carols, which I like to do, watching your favorite Christmas movies. Maybe. That's part of the Christmas season. And I like Christmas. I always do. I love the lights. I love the friendship that always seems to come even with the rushing around and everything. I find that there's a lot of peace more at Christmas time, even though we're rushing here and there and get agitated because the stores are full and people are grabbing what you want and stuff, but there's still peace and people are still kinder. However, there's another aspect of what we now term the Christmas season, and it's Advent, which starts today. And the dictionary meaning of Advent is the arrival of a notable person or event. And it's a season observed by many Christian churches as a time of expectant waiting and preparation for the celebration of the Nativity of Jesus at Christmas. And as Linda said, it's a time to focus and a time to wait. And one of the symbols of the Christmas season is the Advent wreath. Writer, theologian, and artist Gertrude Müller says, "The wreath can be traced to the Romans' ancient rite of waiting in the darkness for the return of the sun and for their feast of the sun, which was on December 25th. She says they took a wheel off of their wagons and fastened torches to it to see them through the darkness. The only thing alive in winter, the evergreen, was brought inside and was fastened to the wheel. To those huddled in the darkness, it was a sign of vegetation in springtime. And more than 300 years ago, German Christians fashioned the same elements into the Advent wreath, which is a sign of hope and eternity." So why, on this first day of Advent, were the readings full of gloom and doom? Well, at least that was my first impression when I read them. And most of the commentaries that I read also started out with the same thing. Why do we hear about this at the beginning of a season when traditionally we're joyful? But as I read these passages and reread them again and again, I got a different message. David Loss says it better than I could. And he says, "Because while many read these passages and others like it as Jesus' predictions of the end, I think instead it can drive us back into the present with renewed energy to see the people and the situations around us as gifts of God that we are called to love and to care for. There is no mention in here of the end of the world, no indications of final judgment, no call to flee the day-to-day realities and obligations and responsibilities of life, only the promise that the Son of Man is near." When is Jesus near, and how close is he? He comes into our lives in many and various ways. He is with us every day, even as we may push him aside as we rush to do shopping. He accepts the people and the communities that we are, even while beckoning us forward in faith to become the people that God has called us to be. He is the potter, and we are the clay. Not as a people we are trying or promised or want to be, but who we are. However imperfect we are and our communities are, we are still all loved by God. Advent is about preparing to recognize Jesus, to wait, and to watch for him. How well do you do waiting? Have you ever been waiting for a ride and the ride was late? You can ask Grinny about that. I'm usually late picking her up. Did you just stand there or start walking toward the direction they're coming from? Did you get impatient? Keep checking your watch? Or maybe take the opportunity to look around you? Did you start to speak to the people passing by? Notice the trees and the sky and take a moment to relax. Or did you take another way to get to your destination? Jesus encouraged his disciples and us to stay alert and to watch while we wait. And we have the opportunity to come alongside Christ and embody his purposes in the present as well as in the future. It seems right now that our world is in chaos with fires and floods and hurricanes and political unrest here and in the rest of the world. Does this mean that we've reached the end times? I don't believe so. There has been these things throughout the ages, and we're still here. But I find Jesus' words comforting. My words will not pass away. We wait as a nation and for a world, for peace to come, for people to find a way to live together. Here at Redeemer, while we wait for a pastor, and we wait to see what the future will hold. While we wait, though, we are doing our jobs as we are called to do, as Jesus said to do. Advent and Christmas are beautiful seasons. We take the time to celebrate the birth of Christ with decorations and lights, time with family and friends. It's a time of hope, anticipation, as we wait for Christ to come again into our lives. And I'd like to end with a Christmas prayer from Robert Louis Stevenson. We thank you for this place in which we dwell, for the love that unites us, for the peace accorded us this day, for the hope with which we expect the morrow, for the work, the health, the food, and bright skies which make our lives delightful for our friends in all parts of the earth. Amen.